This video is the long-awaited, overdue clothing haul video. So today we're going to go through the pile of clothing that I have by my desk waiting to be listed. So as many of you know, I try to get as many listings on as I can. Probably I'm going to say 4 days a week, 5 days a week I'm listing. And while I used to list probably even more than I list now, since taking on YouTube, it has cut down my listing time a little bit. But I'm going to show you kind of the process of how I get ready to list stuff, or at least I'm going to talk about it. And then we're just going to take the pile of clothes by my desk and show you what clothes I'm listing. I'll probably get these on tonight through tomorrow. I think I have about 40 items right now. They were photographed yesterday. So let me just start by saying I do pick up my clothes, most of them in thrift stores. I also shop retail arbitrage clearance outlet centers. So any kind of outlet that has clearance and puts a big amount of clothing all at once into a clearance situation, I'm on it. So whether it's J. Crew, I've done Eddie Bauer, Nike, whoever, I'll pop into all the outlet stores, one right after the other. I go down the sidewalk, pop in, see what the clearance price is. Generally, you can find an additional like 30% off of their clearance, something like that. And I'll pick up like 20 or 30 pieces at a clip. But today's items are thrift store finds, and this is what happens. So I go out, I shop for several hours, probably up to 7 or 8 hours, a lot of times more than one thrift store in the day, bring the items home. All of the items are processed, so they are cleaned, steamed, mended, buttons sewn on, whatever. Now let me just say too that with taking on YouTube, I am doing less mending than I used to do, but all of the clothing is steamed, cleaned, whatever needs to happen to it. And then it gets photographed, most likely all at once. So yesterday Lisa came in, and between hard goods and clothing, I think we got about, I'm gonna guess about 80 to 100 things done, probably closer to 80. And my prior video, I showed you some of the hard goods that we did, but now I'm just grabbing the basket from by my desk, and I'm just going to take the next item off the top of the basket and show you what I bought, why I bought it, and probably give you a few keywords of what I use to make sure the item sells through as quick as possible. But some of my items can take well over a year to sell. But with my business model being a long tail eBay seller, that means I'm not in a rush to lower my price. I'm not racing to the bottom. If I felt that that item was good enough for me to buy, it's good enough to wait for my price, but I do run sales. Hope all of that's not confusing, and I've shared all of this with you guys before. So I am Karen, Lavender Clothes Line. You can take a look at my eBay store right now. I probably have, I'm gonna guess about 3,100 items. Before COVID hit, I was pushing towards 4,000. And then when we had the shutdown of the stores, my inventory number came down because my items were selling through quicker than I could replenish because I couldn't get to the stores. But right now we are on the way back up, but with the holiday, you know, things are selling at a faster rate. So hopefully once the slowdown happens, that's usually mid-February for me, I will be able to build my inventory back up, hopefully over the 3,500 mark. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what the basket looks like. Now keep in mind, all of this has been photographed, measured, logged in a book. I know what my price point is. I know what I want to get out of it. And that's how I sell clothing, Lavender Clothes Line. I have no idea, a lot of clothing. I think my feedback score is about a little under 7,000, and they say it's about 3 times the amount of your feedback of what you've sold. So I'm guessing about maybe 20 to 25,000 items I have sold. Yep, I have sold that many. I make a full-time living on eBay, and it is crazy most of the time. There's that crazy word. So I'm just gonna hold up the basket and be real. This video is just gonna be real and tell you if I made a mistake in picking the thing up or what I think it's gonna bring. So these are what my baskets look like. They are just the big hamper size baskets, but I bought these specifically for eBay clothing. And these will hold probably about 40 items at a time. So these will line up by my desk, and like I said, all photographed. The photographs are edited and everything is ready to go. So when I sit down, a lot of times in the evening or early morning, like this morning I listed about 5 o'clock a.m., I go through this, just pick up the first thing. It's in a logbook. I just type it in. So I can probably get done, I'm going to say about 20 to 30 items in a day for my listing time. That's besides the shopping, and today I'm grocery shopping, running to the bank, all the normal stuff. But let's get started. I'm going to hold up the items and make piles so I can just put them back in for tonight's listing. Okay. The first item I picked up was a set of pajamas. Yep, I buy pre-owned pajamas as long as they're in really nice shape. Now, of course, all of this is cleaned, sanitized, steamed. So if you guys are going to ask, do you wash your items? Everything is processed, cleaned, all the things. The only thing I don't do a lot of is dry cleaning. I'm very careful of the items I pick up if they're going to need dry cleaning and a lot of special treatment. Okay, this is PJ Couture. Never heard of this brand, but it is a woman's top and bottom. It's almost like a waffle knit, really cute, owl print, coral color, size extra large, sleepwear. Sleepwear in that store, now let me remember because I picked this up from all different stores. I believe those were $4.50. I'll probably sell those for about the $20 mark. Somewhere around there, could be a little bit lower. Keep in mind all of my items, the buyer pays shipping. Next up, I saw this jacket. I love, 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 triple love this jacket. This is Coldwater Creek. I don't pick up all of Coldwater Creek. It has to be really pretty, highly embellished, great shape. It is a velvet jacket. Very detailed embroidery. It's a petite large, really beautiful. What did I pay? I paid a sweater price for this, $5.75. I think I'd probably get about the $30 mark for that. This is a Columbia jacket. I don't buy a lot of Columbia. I don't know what the disconnect is for me, but I don't shop a lot in Columbia. Maybe that's it. We do have a very large Columbia outlet in our outlets, the Tanger outlets, and once in a while I pop in there, but I feel like it's one of those stores kind of like Kohl's that puts their things super, super high price and then runs sales. I don't do well shopping like that in retail stores. So, beautiful pink woman's quilted jacket. I think I paid up for this. I probably paid $9 and change. This I'm going to call pre-owned, but to me this is new without tags. I don't see anywhere, but it could have been worn. It does have the newer lining in, you know, the silver, the heat lining. What do they call this lining? They call it something. I have forgotten the name of it. It's something like Omni Heat, I think. It probably has a tag. Yes, Omni Heat. So pink quilted woman's jacket and probably $30. This next item is a top. I've shown this name before. This is Lori Goldstein logo, L-O-G-O. The reason I like this top, it is a tunic and it has a lace hem. Hope the sunshine is okay for you guys today. And what size is this? This is a large. So it's like a heathered green, really pretty. Tops I am paying a little under $5 in most of the stores. Next is Vineyard Vines. I love finding Vineyard Vines, especially if they have, I'm gonna have to close this curtain, hang on. We are too sunny in this video. Let's see if I can stretch and close these curtains. All right, we'll see if that's a little better. All right, hopefully that was okay. All right, back to Vineyard Vines. This is the whale logo tee, and they usually have writing down the arm. Again, I paid $4.75 for this, and I'm not sure what Vineyard Vines is going for right now. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna pull like $25 for this top. Next up is a jean jacket. I sell a lot of denim jean jackets. I look for the classic style, or I look for ones with embroidery. Those are kind of my two go-to styles to look for. This is Levi Strauss Signature, just a classic jean jacket. And in this store, I am paying a sweater price, $5.25. Prices have gone up in our area. This is a woman's 810, really nice. So my keywords, For something like this, I would put the brand, the gender, the size, and then descriptive words. So this would say Levi's, women's, medium, 810, and I would do the 8 space 10, classic denim jacket. And then I would put the words jean, rivet buttons, anything else that I could think of to include. As long as it's a classic style, I think that's the most common style that I sell through. All right, next up is Lululemon. Yep, I found a few pieces. This is a camo windbreaker, and it's a woman's, and very hard not to keep. So that is what that looks like. I know this haul is probably not as nice as when I have them on hangers, but I just had to do it this way today. And it does have the rip away tag. So that's what that looks like. I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with Lululemon. If you can't find the size on any of the neck tags, you look in any pockets, and a lot of times it has the circle with the size printed. So camo jacket, really nice detail. You do have to be careful with Lululemon. It's heavily faked. So you want to look at their logo to see it's straight. You want to look for the proper tags, and you want to look for the workmanship. Lululemon has impeccable workmanship. Their stuff is gorgeous. They will never push through something that's not properly made. So you really want to look at the workmanship of the item. This is another Lululemon, and I really like this one. Wish it was my size. This is a woman's 12. And it is like a really pretty mulberry colored track jacket, I'm going to call it. Really nice shape, a lot of stretch to it, and I think I'll do well with this. Lululemon items have names. They have model names. Sometimes, guys, I do a quick search. Sometimes I don't even bother with the style name. I know that's probably a mistake on my part, but if I had to do research on every item that I sell, I wouldn't sell half as much, I'm convinced. So I feel with Lululemon, people kind of know what they're looking for, and when they're looking for a certain style jacket or a certain style pant, I think they will scroll a little bit. So I try to do the best keywords. Sometimes I'll look, but sometimes with Lululemon too, it's hard to know that you're choosing the correct style name for what you have. That's been my experience. Another Lululemon, this one is a very thick sweatshirt, and it is a woman's 14, again, in a beautiful mulberry color. These two, well, all three jackets look like they've hardly been worn. So again, I will call them pre-owned because I have no idea if somebody wore these or not. They seem new to me, but I rather err on the side of, making sure they're in the proper condition category. Next up is a men's shirt. This is Untuck It. I've shown this brand before. Untuck It is a popular brand. Men really like it. I don't know how long Untuck It has been out. I'm going to guess 5 to 7 years. Still well sought after. The items used to bring more than they do now for me. Short sleeve shirt, I'll probably get a solid 20 to 25 for. And men's shirts, what do I pay? $4.75. This item is a Nike track jacket. I do judge Nike items one at a time. I don't do any kind of blanket statement like, oh, I only pick up Nike this or I don't pick up that. I look at the item and judge it of what I think the desire for it will be. Having said that, I have not found too many pieces of Nike that bring high dollar returns. That's just in my area. There are probably a ton of Nike that really bring good money in clothing. We're talking clothing, not shoes. Woman's track jacket, just your basic. It has kind of like a high-low with the back being a little bit lower. And what did I pay for this? I believe I paid $5.25. A lightweight jacket like this, my stores consider this a sweater. So I pay a sweater price, which is $5.25. Okay, this looks like another Nike. Nope, Under Armour. Again, same rules apply to Under Armour. I don't pick it all up. This is a half zip. Really nice colorway. It's like a gray, blue, and a black. Really nice condition. So I went ahead and picked that one up. Again, sweater price $5.25. This sweater I went back and forth about. I think this is a Gap. Let me just see the label for us. Yep, It's Gap. No, it's not outlet Gap. It's the retail Gap. And this is a men's extra, extra large. I think that's what persuaded me to put it in my cart, was that it was a good size. It's a double X large. Men's, it's like a thermal, like a waffle front, and it's got the heathered gray look to it. I'm sure you can see that. And it's a hoodie. So those three things I thought, and it's in very nice condition, I thought that, it would sell. I do well with relaxed clothing, especially this year. People are really looking to be cozy and comfortable. So this year, naturally, I did not sell too many gowns, although, I still sold gowns, I have to say. I don't know who's wearing gowns this year, but the majority of the clothing I've noticed that sold through this year have been the cozier athletic wear. Athleisure is a term that eBay uses. I'm sure they didn't come up with it. So anytime I see a sweater like this, where it's a little bit of a bigger size and it really represents decent quality, and Gap retail, a lot of it is decent quality, I go ahead and pick it up if I think I can get enough money back out of it to warrant my time and my investment. Okay, this one might have been a lot better if it was a bigger size, and well, I don't consider it a mistake. It's a men's small, Eastern Mountain Sports. Eastern Mountain Sports, the retail store, can be quite pricey. So I think that's what attracts me to the label, and this is the older label. This is just a men's flannel shirt, and really nice condition. It's a good heavy flannel. So in my title, when the flannel is quality, I will denote that. I will say heavy flannel, or in the condition description, I will say really nice quality material. I let the buyer know that it's not the thin, the paper tissue, tissue type materials. And again, what did I pay for this? I think I paid $4.25 for this. Okay, these shorts totally baffle me because I am the least sportiest person ever. I can't get a hold on this. So these are Jordan Jumpman, right? So there's the label. My confusion is if this brand, this label, was ever sold in department stores. I think that's what's the disconnect in my brain. So they are a pair of men's basketball shorts. And I'm thinking, when it looks like this, when Jordan is a spell out on the waist near the drawstring, I think these are older. So when you look at the inner tags, I'm looking for this inner tag to kind of give me a hint of whether this is current or something a little bit older. And I think Jordan Jumpman, that style, is older. And when I look, it says made in Thailand. To me, that is a specific clue that these are not like a current, meaning in the past, 3 or 4 years sold. I could be wrong about that, but that's why I picked them up. I do well with basketball shorts. I'm expecting to get about 25, but this is something I'm going to have to do comps on. We're getting through the basket. This next item is an acid washed jean jacket. You see the print on this, the way that the treatment, that is called acid wash. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Acid wash is 80s and 90s. This is Levi Strauss, size medium. Now again, acid wash could be the original when it really came out and the market got exploded with all these different treatments to denim. There was a ton of them. Or it could be a remake. So sometimes it's hard to tell, and usually I look at the inner tags to be able to tell what I have. I look for where the item was made and anything else that will give me a hint if the item is vintage or not. Like the inner tag, does it look very worn out? Sometimes the whole tag is faded, and that way you can tell that the item has really been washed and worn quite a bit. So I'm looking if this has any kind of telltale signs, and you know what? I don't see a telltale sign. So it does say, I should back up and say the one thing that is a telltale sign is made in USA. So it is a Levi's acid wash denim jacket made in USA. I'm going to venture 90% sure that this is genuine vintage. That's what I would go by. I don't think Levi's denim jackets are currently made in the United States. Okay, this is a brand I don't know why I pick up. I can't walk away from it. This is Echo. So Mark Echo, I'm trying to think of, they had cut and sew. They had a couple of different labels. Is not in trend right now. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not in trend right now, so what do I know? But Mark Echo, the cut and sew, let me see if the label shows it. Yes, this is a cut and sew. This is what the label looks like. It has a pair of scissors. Cut and sew just, I think they're trying to say it was tailored. That's my understanding of it. This hoodie is really good. The inside trim on the hoodie is a gray velvet, and the gray velvet is a good quality. A floral print, and look at the front of this. Let me zip it back up so you can really appreciate what this one looks like. It's a heavy hoodie too. Look how good that is. Do we love this? I love this. There are several brands that I think should really make a resurgence, should really come back on trend. Ed Hardy, I think, was phenomenal. With all of the koi fish and the skulls, I still love Ed Hardy stuff. What do I know? I'm 60 years old. But when you see something like this with the velvet trim and the different print, the reverse hoodie, I don't know. I think it's good, and that's why I picked it up. Now, is some person going to think the same as me? No, but I'm going to price this a little bit higher than I would a plain heavy-duty thick hoodie. This is nice quality, and I'm going to put in my keywords that it has skulls, that it's a velvet trim, things to let the buyer know there was more attention to detail, and let it ride. See how I did with it. Okay, we have 2 more items in this basket. I did originally have more. I have, I think, 4 things on my sew pile, and I think some more things still being washed, so I'm catching up. This is a sweater called Tundra, Tundra. Who's Tundra? I have no idea. I'm sure I've bought it before, but the reason I like this sweater is it's textured, it's vintage, it looks like one of the Coogi sweaters. If you find the genuine striped Coogi sweaters, the vintage ones that are really like bold and loud, those still bring good money. Not as good as they used to, I'm going to say 10 years ago, but they still bring good money. But I do okay with these sweaters. So to me, the label is secondary as long as the quality is good and it's got good colorway. So I will go ahead and pick this up. Wanted to give you that close up so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's like a velour chenille, I'm going to say. It's very soft, and I think people look for it. I just think this one will do okay. $5.25, I'm guessing $30, somewhere around there. All right, last sweater in the basket. So that wasn't quite 40. I think we have probably closer to 30 here because I had a lot of bulky jackets and sweaters. Polo, Ralph Lauren, 92% wool, 8% cashmere, hand knit. There's the keyword. See that hand knit? People look for polo hand knit sweaters. Now, while this would have been a lot better if it was Aztec, Southwestern, horses, like equestrian, trying to think of what else. I want to say the word Indian, but we're not allowed to use that. This would have done even better. But I think the graphic is still good. So I'm going to hold this one up. It's like a forest green color with like a purple, a plum purple. Really nice colorway. And Polo puts out a gorgeous sweater. And because it says hand knit, I don't even understand that. I got nothing. What are people in Ralph Lauren factories sitting there with knitting needles, knitting sweaters? I don't even understand how Ralph Lauren is putting out a label called hand knit. Made in China. That might be a clue. It might be that the people working for Ralph Lauren are, I don't know. I don't think so. But what do I know? I could be wrong. I should research that. So that is a quick clothing haul today, and hopefully I will be able to bring better clothing hauls as we get into the new year and people donate more of the items that they realize they're not wearing, winter-wise, if all of that makes sense. But thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.